Ever wanted to time travel? To walk back into the swinging 60s? Well, follow me, because you might never find this New York gem without help. Hidden in the corner of the Arrivals Lounge on JFK Terminal 5 in Queens is a time machine. Step inside and press that button that will take you back to the 1960s. The time tunnel begins here, and if you walk back into the 1960s Hotel TWA at JFK, you can check in any time, but you may never get back. It's definitely one of the top 10 must-see sites in New York. This union-built and union-operated hotel is a LEED Gold certified and has Connie. Let me introduce you to Connie. The 1958 Lockheed Constellation L1649A plane is nicknamed Connie. She has been around. Before she became a cocktail bar here, she stopped the traffic in Times Square. I'll show you Connie later. The 1960s TWA Hotel is the only on-airport, air-train accessible hotel at JFK. Perfect for the casual visitor, and like Ellis Island, and there is a video of that on this channel, please subscribe. The hotel is a living museum, but this is of the swinging 60s. The TWA Flight Center was built in the 1960s as an airport terminal for TWA Airlines at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Opened on May 15, 2019, the 1960s TWA Hotel reignited the magic of Eero Saarinen's landmark 1962 TWA Flight Center. The design, the decor, the constant 60s music all evoke the 1960s. The check-in desks are just that, the check-in desks for the hotel. The unforgettable click-clacking of the authentic original mechanical operation of the classic Solari split-flap message board adds to the atmosphere. It has 512 ultra-quiet guest rooms with exhilarating views of JFK's runways. And here is Connie, parked outside, brought here, decommissioned, and turned into what many say is one of the best hotel cocktail bars in the world. Since the Beatles arriving in America, feel the wave of Motown. The Connie Lounge is located inside the Star of America. The Paris Cafe, the Sunken Lounge, and the Food Hall are all inside this building. Terminal 5 is now the JetBlue Lounge, and you could be whizzing away to your favorite Caribbean island without even knowing this existed downstairs, hidden behind that corner door. So, if you have time, do visit this TWA Hotel. If you have more time, then do join us on this site that you've just found, because we normally film those Caribbean islands, and we have ports and towns all over the Caribbean on our site with guides and what to see. So, TWA, JetBlue to the Caribbean. But while we're here in this 60s museum, down basking in front of Connie, it's not just the planes and the check-in desks. Look at the old phones. Remember when you had phones on every street corner? The hairdressers, when flying was special and you had your hair done just to fly somewhere. And all of those old packs and tins. Hairspray and Twister. The game of the 60s. So what else do you do in an airport lounge? Hey, the uniforms are up on the first floor. Now look at this. The historic collection of jackets, scarves and hats. The way the crew used to dress. Incredible. This is something you just do not see. And it's hidden in the basement of Terminal 5. I tell you what I love is the little cases they carried. The tiny cases. Because people didn't have very many clothes. It reminded me of Ellis Island and the museum that's out there in the Hudson, which we also have a film of. Look at them. beautiful. I bet your case is much bigger than that. Now, if you're off to the Caribbean, do remember that this channel, Gene Cruises at Doris Visits, films all of those places where you go on holiday. Here on this channel you will find Iceland, Rio, the whole of the Caribbean. You'll find guides for the Mediterranean, for everywhere, from Africa to Asia. This lounge is definitely in my top 10 places to see in New York, along with Central Station and all of those other iconic buildings, because this is iconic. The 60s, the clothing, that aura when the Beatles came to visit, Howard Hughes, style and class. Also here, which is extra special, and let's face it, at airports we do have many hours to spend, as well as the little rooms they kept for dignitaries like the Pope, the President and MPs, the rooms that were just special where they would be served. Oh no, some people don't drink champagne, but you know what I mean. As well as all of this sort of 60s glamour, there is the advertising posters. Poster after poster after poster, because it's hard to imagine that this was in fact the beginning of exploration. It was the beginning of the time when ordinary people began to explore the world, began to fly and go abroad. And the advertising and the posters that began to pop up in shops and travel agents tried to get you to venture to all of these foreign places. So do get down here. Terminal 5, the Blue Jet Lounge, and come downstairs and remember TWA from the 60s. And if you weren't around in the 60s, it will certainly take you back there, because everything, from the letters, the posters, the typewriters, and everything on show, is just a classic exhibition of things you won't see elsewhere. Hey, you may even be staying here in one of the 512 extra quiet rooms. If it's the summer, you may get on the roof. But if not, you can look at the pictures. I hope you've enjoyed this look back at TWA. The Beatles arriving in America in 1965. All of the things that have gone past, that no longer are here, except to see in places like this, which people take the time and effort to recreate. Thanks for watching. I'm departing now, but arriving quite soon are all of the port guides and holiday reviews that we do on Doris Visits. Please subscribe, take a look at our playlists, whether it's the Caribbean, Africa, Asia, South America, wherever it is, we have made a guide of that place. Thanks for watching.
We've arrived at Grand Turk. Now, do you think I'm capable of walking to that beach from here? There are 10 umbrella stands offering tours to different places, but that's not all that's here. Come to Margaritaville and there's the flow rider and a pool area and free beach chairs.
It is a resort and a beach.
So this is where you get your taxis, your buses, or vehicles that you've hired either privately or through the ship for your trips. The splashdown of John Glenn threw this island into the spotlight. In my opinion, if you turn right from the ship, the beach is much nicer. This is left from the ship, and it's where the local traders are selling drinks, doing braiding.
The last shack along the beach is Jack's Shack. It's nice and buzzy, but it's not as loud. The further you walk along the beach, the more local it gets.
Amber Cove could not be easier.
You have a choice between the new port resort and the old town.
We've arrived at Costa Rica. It's a beautiful beach.
The sign and the buzzword is Jurassic Park.
So this is very old.
Yeah.
Amber is important. That's why it's called Amber Cove. San Felipe Cathedral was destroyed by fire in 1863.
It's all so like Cuba here. Even the language is very similar. This blue bar is the only original building in the square. This fort in Puerto Plata is over 400 years old. Amber Cove has a totally different feel to the other cruise ports. It's purpose-built. It's kind of like a theme park. The zip line starts here. These hammocks, complimentary.
Yeah, but can you find one available? Oh, yeah. Okay.
The difference between this port and other ports in the Caribbean is no one's hassling you for money. You could just get off with your costume, your towel, your cruise card, and forget about your money. I want to say violinist, but you're so much more than that. How would you describe what you do?
I'm playing violin, I'm talking about my life, and I'm trying to serve my audience the best I can.
And you have a daughter?
Yes, I do have a daughter. She's 6 years old, Aneta, and she's home with my parents right now.
I was just wondering what you walk down the aisle to.
Gabriel's oboe from the mission. Everybody thinks that we met on ships. Absolutely not.
Okay.
We were studying together in music academy in Poland, in north of Poland. And we were friends for quite a long time. And then one day he said that, you know, Joanna, if I could be your boyfriend for just 1 week, I would be the happiest person in the world.
Oh, romantic.
I said, I have 1 week. And now he's safety officer, soon staff captain.
If you enjoyed hearing Joanna Marie share with Jean, then do listen to Jean's other interviews with top cruise celebrities. Please subscribe to Jean's channel, Cruise Doris Visits.